I want to tell you a story. These are 3 generations of Nigerian passport. This is the first Nigerian passport I ever had, the second and the most recent one. And each of these passports actually have a story. Let's start with the first one. I got this passport in 2014 because I was a young chap who was a dreamer. I had this idea or vision that a day will come, even though I'm stuck in the creeks of obscurity, one day will come where I'll be able to touch the rest of the world and serve the gifts that God has deposited on my inside. And I went through this passport for 5 years without ever having an opportunity to travel anywhere. Number 1, I couldn't afford it. Number 2, no door was opening. And then number 3, I don't think I was even ready to face the global community. And that begs my next conversation. There are a lot of young people today that I see around, and you're not making the most of your wilderness season. You are not making the most of your seasons of obscurity. You are calling yourself an expert when you haven't even identified the key historic concept that forms the industry you're operating in. You call yourself a leader, a mentor, when deep down in your heart, you know that you're not currently living the reality that you want to live. Hey, let me tell you something. You can never jump the gun in destiny. And so this idea that social media purports itself to make people look like they're experts because somebody's opening the door for you when you're coming out of a car, or you're flying somewhere and someone is able to record you, doesn't make you an expert. Let me tell you, the day you get invited to come and speak at a global stage, let's say you're invited to the Skull World Forum, for example, or you're invited to go to Davos for the World Economic Forum, it's not the videos of people opening doors for you or the pictures of you in a plane that will make a difference. What will make a difference is the content that you have built in yourself. So my dear young sister, my dear young brother, and I'm talking to myself in this conversation as well, you need to begin to prioritize learning in hiding. Take the time away from all this camera and spend time building your container so that the content is rich to serve the people, that when God brings you before them, your life will change forever. By the grace of God, I've had the opportunity to be in some of the rooms I once prayed for. And when I sit in these rooms, I pay deep attention to the dynamics of power being exchanged in this room. And I realized that the only thing that got me to this room were 2 things: God and the days when I accepted the fact that I'm not a mentor. I'm still a guy going through a progress. And that brings me to this passport. In passport 1, I wasn't ready, but I was trying to prove to the world that I was ready. When passport 2 came, I had become a humble boy, and I was okay with the fact that, hey, people will not take me seriously. I better go back to the creeks and start reading. And things began to change. I made my first trip to Kenya, and that's when I started collecting currencies from countries that I traveled to. This is 100 Kenyan shillings, 200 Kenyan shillings. And my first trip outside of Nigeria was to Kenya, because I had accepted the reality that, Itofa, you need to work on yourself. And when I eventually began to take that more seriously, the 3rd passport, it's such an interesting contrast to the first time and this 3rd passport. This is full of empty pages. When I open this passport, when I look at all the visa stamps, especially with a Nigerian passport, I am humbled and grateful to God that I could go from here where I had nothing to being here when almost all the pages are full. And this is the reminder I want to give to somebody. You don't have anything to prove. You don't need to come on LinkedIn and hype yourself up. Be honest with where you are in your development and use the words of God to create the future you want to see. But most importantly, spend time building capacity. I know it's a long form video, but I hope if you got to this point, you catch a revelation of what I'm trying to communicate to you. The world will open, the world will bend to your reality. But the way you are going, nobody's going to pay attention to you.